New year, new me, and I'm exactly the same. I still don't have good recording equipment. Welcome back to my channel. It is 2026, and that means I have started a new reading challenge. So, the last few years I've been doing Book List Queens reading challenge. It's 52 books with a bunch of just kind of weird prompts. And I started doing it kind of on a whim because I was just reading a lot of books. Listening to a lot of audiobooks specifically. Needed some ideas of something new to do, and then I ended up getting like halfway through it and then just decided to commit to it, so now I just do it every year. I find that there are ways that you can tailor it, so if you want to read one specific genre, then you can usually make that happen. Like last year, I made a point to read a lot of nonfiction, more than I usually do. I don't remember exactly how many. I'll put text on the screen, how many nonfiction books I read. I do want to get at least 12 nonfiction books this year. I don't think I quite have them all planned out yet, but I will show you what I do have planned out. I've picked out the books on my physical TBR that I haven't read that I want to read, or honestly read again. A couple of these are rereads. So I'm gonna just go through them all and show you a little bit of what I'm reading. There are 52 books. I haven't chosen all of them. I think I've chosen maybe 40 of them. What happened last year is I got way too overconfident and I picked out like 52 books January 1st. That was my reading list. And then of course I changed my mind halfway through the year. So I ended up reading 60 books on my Fable. My Goodreads says I read 68 books. I'm not sure where some of those came from. That was too much. So we're being more cautious this year. So I'm gonna go through what I have on my physical TBR. I have Kindle Unlimited right now, so know a lot of the books that I'm gonna read these first couple of months aren't represented here. It's okay. We'll see if I read any of these at the end of the month when I do my January reading wrap up. So if you're new here, I go over what I read at the end of every month. I'm rambling a lot right now, I realize. But I've committed to it, so I guess I'm gonna finish rambling. At the end of every month, I do a little recap of everything I read, and I rank them, and I give them ratings and reviews. You know, standard practice. I usually hit about 4 books every month. Can really depend. So I'm gonna stop rambling. I'm gonna just show you the books. So we're gonna start with fiction. I have a nonfiction pile and I have a fiction pile. So this one is not mine. This is my sister's, and I'm gonna get my own copy of it, but I just wanted to have as many props as possible. But this is the only... So, I haven't read a lot of Jane Austen. I did my high school English, weirdly, because I graduated in 3 years, and to do that I had to take college English, so instead of getting kind of the usual required reading, I read Beowulf and The Goblin Market. So, I have missed a lot of kind of classics that everyone my age has read. The only Jane Austen I've read is Northanger Abbey, which I loved. So I'm gonna read Pride and Prejudice. I just noticed that Wordsworth. I bet my mom gave my sister this. But yeah. There are, how many novels are in this? 7. 7 novels. All of her novels. So I'm gonna get my own copy of Pride and Prejudice, but I will be reading that this year at some point. And then next, in a very similar vein, Wuthering Heights. The prompt for this one is book that's becoming a movie. And I do want to see the Wuthering Heights movie, even though I've heard some things. The way it's marketed makes me suspicious. I'm hoping it's ironic, but I do love Wuthering Heights, and I'll reread that. I've read it 2 or 3 times now. Love Wuthering Heights. It's so fucked up. Yes. And I have this book, The Strays by Emily Biddle. I got this at a used book sale. I don't remember what it's about. I think it's historical fiction. It's historical fiction about art. So I don't remember what the prompt was for that. I think it might have been the year it was published. But I've had that for a while, so I'm gonna read it this year. And it's so nice. It's in library binding because the library donated this book to the used book sale because it was like a charity situation. Then we have Once and Future Witches by Alexia Harrow. Is my bookmark still in this? Doesn't look like it, at least. I started reading this, I think I made it one chapter in, and then I didn't finish it. Because I think I was a freshman in college, and I had so much going on. I was an English major, so, you know, if all of your homework is reading, you don't want to come home and read some more. So, yeah, I'm gonna finally read that one. And then another one I've already read, which you can tell that there's a bookmark already in it. Dragon Rise of Pern. This is my favorite fantasy. Honestly, if you read Fourth Wing and you liked any element, any aspect of the dragons, read Dragon Riders of Pern by Anne McCaffrey, because Rebecca Yarros pretty much borrowed directly the way the dragons work, but put it in a different world, so a lot of the context for why the dragons are the way they are isn't there, and it's changed. But this is Anne McCaffrey is kind of just the origin of the sympathetic dragon in fantasy. She's delightful. I love her. One of my favorite fantasy authors. Probably my favorite, honestly. So I relatively recently read the first book, which... This is the whole trilogy, the whole first trilogy, in one book. So it's Dragonflight, Dragon Quest, and The White Dragon. So I read Dragonflight relatively recently. I'm gonna read Dragon Quest at one point because I miss my dragons. And then Zadie Smith, Swing Time. This is just, the cover is yellow, I think. And this is the only book I have where the cover is like actually yellow. I got this at the same used book sale a while ago. I don't remember anything about what it's about, but it's in really good condition. I've had it for a while, so we're gonna read it. So that's the end of my physical fiction books. Now we're gonna do nonfiction, which there aren't as many, but there are 4. So first, Robbing the Bees. If you've watched my channel for the last few months, on my birthday back in September, I got a bee tattoo, and that was like my big present, mostly to myself, but my mom did give me some money for it. So one of my family friends used that as a prompt and got me just some fun bee items. So, like, got me a tote bag that had a bee on it. So she got me this book, which I think it's just a history, or, well, it's a biography of honey. So we'll see what that's about. It's a fun nonfiction book. You have to find the balance between the stuff that's like, what's going on in the world, what's happening, and what's this random thing I want to learn more about for funsies. So, Penguin Book of Witches. I had a friend get me this for my birthday too, I believe. And it looks really interesting. I think it's a lot of overviews about witch trials. So, it'll probably be depressing, but, you know, it's only like 230 pages, so we can be depressed for 230 pages. So this is called Palaces for the People. I got this as a graduation gift from another set of family friends. People just give me books. They should know that I can't resist. So I think it's about social infrastructure and fighting inequality. So that'll be interesting. I haven't seen that book in a lot of places. So yeah, well, we're gonna read that. Then the last one, it's not really like, I don't think there's a lot to read in this. I can probably get through it in a couple of days, but it's this book. I'm gonna skim it. It's all about creating reading lists and activities to get kids to engage with banned books, essentially. So I'm gonna go through this just so I know what's in there. Yeah, that's all the books I have, they're, like I said, I am reading a bunch of other stuff on Kindle Unlimited right now. I'm currently reading Beauty is a Wound, which I meant to read last year, and then my hold didn't come through until like December 29th. So that one for the challenge last year was a multi-generational story. I ended up reading The Dutch House by Anne Patchett instead. Maybe 75% done with Beauty is a Wound. It is good. It is a lot. I thought I was going to get through it in 6 days. It's like a 500-page book, but I was going through it pretty quickly. And I just can't. I just can't do it. My brain can only handle so much. So I'm currently reading that. And then there are a bunch of fantasy books on Kindle Unlimited that I've been wanting to read, so I'm just going to try and read as many as I can while I still have my free months. I figured out a while ago that Amazon will reset your free trial of Kindle Unlimited once a year. And I first got Kindle Unlimited on Black Friday a few years ago. And the Black Friday sales that you get 3 months free. So until like late February, I have free Kindle Unlimited. So I always try in those 3 months to read as much as I can on there. So, the ones off the top of my head, there's some T Kingfisher on there. Love her. I think I'm gonna try and read the Poppy War trilogy. We'll see. There are a bunch of others, but I can't remember them off the top of my head. So, I will come back at the end of the month and you'll see what I've accomplished since then. But until then, I'm not gonna grab the Jane Austen one, actually. That's what I've got. I will see you guys next week. I don't know what I'm doing next week. Let me know in the comments what type of content you want to see, because now that the New Year's started and NaNoWriMo is over and all my like Christmas content is out of the way, I have no idea what I'm doing for videos. So please let me know. Please tell me what to do. I'm starting school again next week. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a comment. Tell me what you're reading this year. Tell me if you also do this challenge, or if you do a different challenge. Let me know. I'm curious. Very curious. So I'd really appreciate if you leave a like on this video. If you subscribe, come hang out with us. We have fun. I owe you guys a 50 subscriber celebration. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm just lazy and haven't recorded it yet. You can also follow me on TikTok. I post TikToks occasionally when I feel like it. You can also follow me on Fable and see what I'm reading. We can be friends. We can, you know, share what we're doing, what we're reading. But yeah, other than that, I will see you guys next week.